Time for my third iteration of my mock draft. This one will include trades. Um, I took a lot of time to kind of switch up some picks. Some of them are just still going to be the same because, I mean, they're just perfect fits. I'm not going to, you know, change a pick for the sake of changing a pick. If I think that team is going to take that player and I'm confident in it and it's a good fit, that's who they're going to end up taking. But there's some different picks in here. Some, maybe you're not expecting, but we will be using trades today. And the first pick of the draft will have a trade. Tennessee moving down to 3 with New York. Maybe, let's see. Tennessee. New York gives them, let's just say, like a 334 next year's second. It could probably be more. I don't know. The compensation isn't really what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about mocking the actual trade. And I think they trade up and get Cam Ward. I think they jump the Browns to get him. I think Cameron Ward has the best upside as, quarterback potential in this draft in terms of, this overall quarterback class. It's not the best, but he is QB1, I'll say. So, Giants try to get their guy. I like the upside on him. It's just certain things he does, like the nonchalant act that he has. How is that going to translate to the next level, if it even does at all? But Giants need a QB so bad. Now, this is before Aaron Rodgers signs with anybody. We don't know where he's going to go. Could end up going to New York in this pick. Doesn't even matter. But even still, he's only a bridge guy. You could still get your future guy, sit him. So I still like Cameron Ward either way now that I think about it. Browns at 2. Just re signed Myles Garrett back to that huge, huge deal. And I think they're slowly starting to try to phase Massage Watson out of the picture. I'm going to go Shador Sanders. Clear QB2 here. I mean, maybe not the higher upside, like Cameron Ward, but I think day one starting wise, he's definitely better than Cam Ward. So, you're getting a low or high floor, low ceiling. Not low ceiling in terms of, he's not going to be good, but in terms of compared to Cam Ward. But I just, you know, there's just things that don't jump off the page with Shador for me. Arm talent's definitely one, but it is what it is. At number 3, I think Abdul Carter will go to the Titans. I thought I was recording and my mic was muted. That's my bad. But I think he's got great bend, good power, very good speed off the edge. He's a freak athlete, big guy, and you need a cornerstone player if you're Tennessee. And with both Cam Ward and Shador Sanders off the board, you got to go on the other side of the ball there. And I think Abdul Carter is a good start. You lose Harold Landry to New England, and you got to get somebody that can fill that void. And I think Abdul Carter, if anything, is an upgrade from Harold Landry. So I'd really like the fit and pick there. New England at number 4. Man, are they active in free agency? You got Milton Williams, Mac Hollins starting to build. I can see what Mike Vrabel is trying to do for sure. And I think with what they're doing, all signs are pointing to Travis Hunter. He could play receiver. He could play corner. We might be phasing out Kendrick Bourne is what it's looking like to me. Try to get these younger guys in like Javon Baker, who didn't really play last year, and see what they can do. And I think Travis Hunter also gives you really good, defensive value as well. Signed Carlton Davis. You got Gonzo and Carlton Davis now on both sides with Travis Hunter playing a nickel slot role. I think that could be very lethal for New England. Next up, at number 5, we got another trade. Who's he going to be? Who will be trading up with Jacksonville? I think it'll be Chicago. I think they're going to be jumping the Raiders for this player. And we'll just do a pick swap for now. Like I said, compensation, I don't know. I don't really care about the whole, figuring out full trade details. I'm just worried about getting the trade. But you know what? I think they go Ashton. I know the Raiders are going to want to pick him at 6 if he falls. And I think Chicago jumps him. You got Ben Johnson, just came from Detroit. And he's seen success with running backs like Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery. And you get another player of that caliber. You rebuilt that offensive line. You're attacking the defensive holes. Chicago's been having a really good offseason as well. Raiders at 6. I think they'll go Teteroa McMillan. You need another offensive weapon. Traded for Geno Smith, not the long term guy. This could also be QB here. I can also see the Raiders trading up to one. You know, what would that look like? No idea, but I don't know if Geno's the long term guy. Maybe they're just, trying to get a bridge guy for next year. But assuming this is how the board falls, I think Tedero McMillan here is the best player available for them. Obviously, BPA is Mason Graham, but you don't really need defensive line. So Tedero McMillan makes a lot of sense. You need a receiver in that room. Similar situation of the Patriots. Don't really have a lot of receiver depth. And I think that sparks, that receiver room quite a bit. Jets at number 7. Have to look at my board here. I think they go Armand Membu. Had an awesome combine. You lose Morgan Moses to free agency, also to New England. And you got to get somebody else back up on that offensive line to bolster it back up, protect Justin Fields, of course, now. And I think he's one of the best tackles in this draft. Super athletic. And that's just something super valuable. Big, athletic offensive guards, and he's powerful. He can block super well. So, just, I like that. At number 8, we're going to go Shamar Stewart. Pretty sure I had him mocked here the last 2 times. I don't care. Shamar Stewart is a freak athlete, and, same thing with the Titans. You need a cornerstone player for that defense. You got to go pass rusher. Shamar Stewart is one of the best pass rushers in this class outside of, coming out of the draft wise, there's maybe only Abdul Carter better than him, but in terms of upside wise, I don't know. There's some people I like over him, but that's just me. Saints at number 9. We're gonna go Mason Graham. Fell to 9. If we really look at the board here, I could see Carolina going with Mason Graham here. I could see, any of these teams really, besides the Raiders, because they don't really need anybody on that defensive line. But he's just BPA, so it makes sense. All right, Jags at 10. Another dude that fell on the board, Will Campbell. You got to get somebody on that offensive line. You lose Cam Robinson. I had to think of his name. It was Cam Robinson. Hasn't signed anywhere yet. Maybe they bring him back in free agency. I highly doubt it, but you need another tackle. You could play Will Campbell at tackle, but probably a guard. You should probably play him at tackle. I don't know. The whole where is he going to play situation, so tough with him because I know different teams are going to measure him differently. They're going to value his measurements differently. But the thing is, you just need offensive line. And Will Campbell, like I said, one of the best. All right, number 11, I'm going with a player I've been super high on this whole time, Jalen Walker. Boy, did I wish he tested the combine because his stock would have went up, I'm sure. He would have been solidified top 10 if he tested at the combine. Chose not to. And I think that's why he falls because, you know what? Maybe last time I had him going to Carolina, not Shamar Stewart. I don't know, but Jalen Walker's a freak defensive end defensive end, pass rusher, and he can also play somewhat off the ball. And you need someone else. You lose Dre Greenlaw, and you need someone outside of Nick Bosa, that can get to the passer. Jalen Walker can cover, get to the passer, and someone like that is just super valuable, especially here at 11. I'd also see them going with a receiver. You lose Debo, you traded him, obviously. Still had Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pierce also. It could definitely be one of these receivers, but maybe not at 11. I could definitely see Ibuka, Burden, Matthew Golden, I know somewhere in here, but I just think team need and value wise with how they're falling, Jalen Walker to me makes the most sense. Number 12, we're going to be having a trade. It's going to be Cincinnati trading up with Dallas, and they'll be getting Will Johnson. They need secondary so bad. So bad. And this defense, secondary wise, was so awful. It could also be a trade up, maybe not a trade up if they're taking Michael Williams, but this secondary is just so awful. It was bottom of the league. At the very least, it was like 20, 28, 27 highest. And you need somebody in that secondary. Will Johnson is super good, press man guy, long, and I think that he can give juice to a secondary that, desperately needs it. Next up, 13, got the Dolphins going Kelvin Banks Jr. You got to protect Tua, keep him up on his feet. We already know, he was pretty close to medically retiring as it is. And I just think that offensive line's pretty, piss poor, pretty lacking. And I think Kelvin Banks is, definitely maybe 2B, 2A, 2B with Kelvin Banks and Armen Membu. I think Membu is definitely more athletic, but I do also like Kelvin Banks as a pure, pass protector. And, I think keeping two upright, because we've all seen what they've looked like without him, is the most important thing for them right now. And, pass protection is a huge thing in the NFL. 14, Colts. Let's all try to take a wild guess on who this is going to be. Tyler Warren. I mean, every time I've done a mock draft, this is where he goes. I just like the fit, all right? I love the fit. Shane Steichen from the Eagles, similar type of offense, similar type of quarterback with AR, that dual threat guy, power runner, and I still think AR has potential. And you got to unlock that potential. Tyler Warren in that offense could definitely be great. I could also see them going with Jade Barron. However, they did sign, I want to say it was they signed a corner. I can't remember. It's not coming to me right now. But I could also see them going defense as well. But just for me right now, I still think it's Tyler Warren. Maybe a top 12 guy in this draft. He's probably even higher. I know a lot of people got him higher. Me personally, I'd say 11, 12 range. And you just got to help AR with everything you can. 15, we have James Pierce Jr. going to the Falcons. Falcons desperately need a pass rush. And I know James Pierce has been falling down some scouts boards and whatnot, but I mean, you can't deny the talent. You can't deny what's there. I get the character issues, but he's just still just a beast player. You cannot deny what he does on the field. And for a team that desperately needs something off the edge, James Pierce can definitely help that front seven for sure. 16, Cardinals. I've been seeing offensive line here. I've been seeing defense here. I've been seeing pass rusher. They just got Montez Sweat. Not that big of a need anymore. I'm going to do a little bit of a controversial pick here. I'm going to go Luther Burden. Let's not forget, Kyler Murray outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't really have a lot of weapons. I think Luther Burden can definitely be another chain mover, just like the Cowboys, situation we talked about. And, you know, someone else that can, stretch the defense. It can't just be all put on one receiver. And Luther Burden definitely a good upgrade there from whoever else Kyler was going to be thrown to. 17, I got Cowboys going with Emeka Ibuka. You know, just talked about it. All they really have receiver wise. CeeDee Lamb, I know they just re signed Kavontae Turpin. Is that really a true receiving option? Awesome punt returner, awesome kick returner, electric speed. As a true wide receiver, though, I don't know if I really like him. Ibuka, gives CeeDee Lamb some help, takes some pressure off of him, stretches the defense in different ways than CeeDee Lamb does. And, you know, just, you need, it's never bad to have receiver depth. 18, going back to back to back, the three-peat on receivers, because we are going with Matthew Golden. They gutted their wide receiver room, cutting Tyler Lockett, trading DK Metcalf. JSN's now your number one option, it's looking like. Let's get someone else in that receiver room. And it's not unrealistic for three receivers to go back to back to back. We've seen it happen before in the 2022 draft, I want to say, when it was Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, and there was someone else. I can't think of it. There was somebody else. It was like, I think in the same range too. It was like maybe like 20, 21, 22, something like that. But, you know, the Seahawks are obviously rebuilding, trading away everybody, it seems like. So Matthew Golden is definitely a good start. 19, I have the Buccaneers going with Jade Barron. If I can find him, where is he at? Oh, I'm on receiver still, duh. I have him going with Jade Barron. I don't know if he's going to play boundary corner in the NFL. He's definitely an awesome nickel guy, though. You need somebody back there, along Antoine Winfield Jr. and somebody in that secondary in general. I think Jade Barron's a great start. Someone in that Brian Branch, Kyle Hamilton kind of role. Kyle Hamilton being definitely way bigger than both of them, but somebody he's more of a true ball hawk than he is in the run sport. Than he's more of a Brian Branch than a Kyle Hamilton, but somebody in that nickel role that's flexible that can play outside, maybe just not all the time, and just somebody else besides Antoine Winfield. At number 20, I have the Broncos taking Colston Loveland, the second best tight end, and he falls straight to him. I think it's perfect. I would have had the Chargers taking him if he fell to 22. He doesn't. Tyler Warren's one. Colston Loveland's two. He's more of an inline guy, can block, can also catch, I think he's more well rounded than Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren's a way, way, way better receiver. But I just think, you know, overall tight end wise, I like Colston Loveland, you know, a little bit better in the blocking department as well. 21 Steelers. Here's the first big shakeup I have. I have him going to Marion Hampton. I, projected him to go, what was it, maybe early second round, late first in my day two prospects video. It's looking like he's going day one for sure now with them losing Najee Harris and, you know, they're trading for DK Metcalf. They're obviously trying to push their Super Bowl window open, and I think Amari and Hampton could definitely be a great spark to that offense. And they need a running game. They have nobody now, unless you want to go with Jalen Warren. But he's a great back, but you need somebody else that can, really take a workload. He's got good balance power, good speed, good breakaway speed, good vision. So I like Amari and Hampton going there. All right, our next trade will be at 22. I have the Los Angeles Rams trading up with the Chargers. We're just going to do a pick swap. I'm not really, like I've been saying this whole video, I'm not really worried with the full details. I just want to, mock the actual trade. And I have them going with, I'm on offense. I have them going with, okay, what is going on here? Why are we so far down? I'm going with Malachi Starks. They desperately need another defensive back as well. I think Malachi Starks is more of a Kyle Hamilton. We talked about Jade Barron being more of a Brian Branch. This is more the Kyle Hamilton, comp for me. And I think he can play boundary corner more than Jade Barron definitely could. You lose Tre'Davious White. You don't really have anybody else back there. Cameron Kitchens is good. Cameron Curl is a good. But I just think you need another DB in that room. Definitely Malachi Starks can help on that back end. They didn't have really the best passing defense. So at 23, the Green Bay Packers, I have them going. Michael Williams, he fell down the board a little bit here. I almost, mocked him to the Falcons instead of the Packers. But have him going here to the Packers. Michael Williams is really, really good off the edge. Good 3-4 defender, can set an edge. He's good in the run. And I just think his best ability is definitely, on third downs, pure pass rush situations, one-on-ones. He doesn't lose one-on-ones often, all right. 24, we have another defensive lineman coming off the board here, Walter Nolan. This list was made before Jonathan Allen's, signing, so I still had them needing somebody in the trenches. So with that being said, I could definitely see them going Tyler Booker here. I could see them going Nick Eamon-Wari, Jahad Campbell, Siobhan Revel. Literally anybody you see here, I could see Minnesota taking. This just was, I've been lazy about making this video, so I'm just kind of late on things. But, Walter Nolan's still a good fit either way, even with him there. So, I still wouldn't be mad at this pick. 25, Texans. Traded Laramie Tunzel, okay? And they traded for CJ Gardner Johnson. So what do we do here? I like Tyler Booker here. You need offensive linemen again now. You just need offensive line in general. Same situation as the Jaguars. It doesn't matter where they play. You just need offensive linemen. Protect CJ Stroud. I could definitely also see them going receiver. I know I've mocked receivers to them, but just as of right now, there's nobody really here. Trey Harris, Isaiah Bond, maybe the only two I could see sneaking into the first. Outside of that, I mean, you'd wait till day two. But Tyler Booker is definitely, good value here. I think he could definitely go way higher. I think he could go as high as 13. I think he could definitely go 18, 16, all these spots. But he fell. So Texans swoop him up. 26, I got the Chargers going. Derek Harmon beefing up that offensive line. Chargers need to be able to stop the run. They were great in the passing game. And I just think beefing up the trenches could definitely help them run defense. And what better way to beef it up with Derek Harmon? 27, I got the Ravens. This is such a Ravens pick for me. But Nick Eamon-Wari, I mean, you want to talk about Kyle Hamilton cloned? That's Nick Eamon-Wari. That's literally Nick Eamon-Wari. This dude's super athletic. He's got a nose for the ball, big ball hawking guy. He's like 6'3", but he can cover receivers with no problem. He's got great speed, and I mean, Kyle Hamilton can't play back end safety all the time. You need somebody else that can. Kyle Hamilton's better down in the box, down in the slot, down in the nickel. So let's get somebody over the top. A true back end safety, that's Nick Eamon-Wari. 28, Detroit Lions. I have them going Chavon Rebel. One of the best corners in this draft for me personally. He's my CB3. Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, then Chavon Rebel. I think this dude's really good. He's got a nose for the football as well. True ball hawking zone corner. And the Lions play a lot of man, I know, but he can also play man. I just like the scheme fit there. 29, I have the Commanders going Jahad Campbell. Yes, I know they have Bobby Wagner and whatnot, but Bobby Wagner maybe got 1-2 more years left in him. And why not get his replacement now? Let him learn under Bobby while he's still there. I think it's perfect. At number 30, this is going to be a shocking pick here. I don't know how he fell this far, but I'm going to go Mike Green. Bills just signed Joey Bosa. Let's get Mike Green on the other edge. You got Greg Russo. Mike Green could be a rotational pass rusher. That D-line went from not looking great to looking pretty damn good. And, you know, I think they definitely have a better defensive line this year for stopping the run than they did last year. 31, Chiefs. We are going to go with another dude who fell pretty far down the board, Kenneth Grant. I think this dude is a big presence in the middle of the field. Chris Jones, we don't know how much longer he's going to play. You know, I know he's under contract for a couple more years, but I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it quits after that. Kenneth Grant could definitely be his replacement. Same situation as maybe the Commanders. You know, you might as well get him there, learned under Chris Jones while he's still there. And I just like the fit way too much. All right. Last pick of the first round, the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles. Where are we going to go? I think, you know, you lose basically every single defensive back that you had. I mean, not every, obviously. I'm over-exaggerating. But you lose Darius Slay. I know he's older. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's definitely going to be a bigger hit. So let's replenish that DB room with Benjamin Morrison. I know this dude's injured. However, I don't care. I really like the upside for Benjamin Morrison. You know, if he's fully healthy and gets up to that ceiling, he's, you know, pushing for CB2, maybe even CB1 for me. I really, really like his ball instincts. Great in man. And I think he had a really, really, really good, you know, career at Notre Dame for me to put him in the first round. But this will be my mock draft 3.0. Let me know what y'all think. What would you do differently? So happy the Patriots are being aggressive this year in free agency. I'm so tired of Bill running the team and doing nothing every year. I just had to say that. Okay. Subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandma's dog. I don't know.